Hi, welcome to William Tootie Carter Field on the campus of Man High School, Man, West Virginia. Class A, Region 4, Section 1 championship matchup tonight between the Sherman Tide, the second seed coming out of the loser's bracket, and the top seed, Man High School Hillbillies. One win, and the Hillbillies are sectional champs for a second consecutive year, and they will move on to the regional finals against the winner of the Section 2, which right now, Ravenswood, the 3 seed, is in a driver's seat waiting the winner of the loser's bracket. All indications are early is that Wahama had a big lead in that contest and will move on to face Ravenswood on Monday, where they have to defeat the Red Devils twice if they are to host Game 1 of the Region 4 Class A championships and a right to go to the state tournament in Charleston, West Virginia in June. So Wahama comes out of Section 2. If they're able to defeat Ravenswood in 2 games, they will host. If Ravenswood finishes the job on Monday, Man will host Game 1. They will go to Ravenswood for Game 2, and then Game 3 will be back here at William Tootie Carter Field, if necessary, in the best-of-3 format in the Class A. Well, actually, not just Class A, but in the best-of-3 format for the WVSSAC Baseball Regional Championships, as well as softball. Man High School hosting the first game on Tuesday against the reigning Class A state champion Wahama Lady White Falcons. Game 2 will be at Wahama. Game 3, if necessary, back at Man. I'd like to welcome you to our broadcast tonight. This will be the second game that I've actually broadcasted tonight. I had one earlier this evening, or earlier this afternoon, I should say, as Logan finishes off the Class AA Region 4 Section 2 championship. Congratulations to the Wildcats. They defeat the Scott Skyhawks 6-4 and advance to the Region 4 championships next week, May 23rd, actually, to the 28th, are the dates, if necessary. And Logan will host Game 1 against either Winfield or Sissonville. Winfield victorious tonight, this afternoon, I should say. I'm getting it tonight and this afternoon confused, so just bear with me. So Winfield victorious over Sissonville. They will play Monday to see who will come to Logan on the 23rd. So there's a week in between games. So more than likely look for Logan and, possibly Man, if Man finishes this off today, to pick up games along in the week against teams that are still alive in sectional play, as long as Man and Logan are within the 30-game limit. They're well within that, so they can pick up games. So, but he should have it. But we're about set for baseball here. We're getting ready to go over the player introductions, lineups, and have the national anthem. While we do that, let's go ahead and over there. Let me see. As we got the lineups. Caleb Blevins will be on the mound for the Man High School Hillbillies tonight, as he will be opposed by Holden Allen for the Sherman Tide. And Blevins will face a lineup that looks like this for Sherman. Center field, Cole Whitehead leads off. Clay Massey, the second baseman, will bat second. Holden Allen on the mound, bats third. Josh Jenkins, the third baseman, will bat fourth. Seth Ward, the catcher, hits fifth. Shortstop, Jared Butcher, bats sixth. A designated hitter, Austin Davies, will hit seventh and bat for the right fielder, Jace Evans. A.J. Skeens at first base, bats eighth. And batting ninth, Logan Green, left fielder. Again, that lineup for Sherman: Whitehead, Massey, Allen, Jenkins, Ward, Butcher, Davies, Skeens, and Green to face Caleb Blevins, who will be the pitcher tonight for the Man High School Hillbillies. And their lineup looks like this. Center field, Jace Aggins leads off. Caleb Vance will bat second and play shortstop. Pitching, Caleb Blevins. Batting fourth, catcher, Preston Blankenship. Brady Hall Montgomery will bat fifth and play first base. Drake Veers is the designated hitter, hitting sixth for Gavin Klein, the second baseman. Bo Thompson will play third base and hit seventh. Braxton Messer will be in right field, hitting eighth. And Colton Miller plays left field and hits ninth. Again, that lineup for the Hillbillies: Aggins, Vance, Blevins, Blankenship, Hall Montgomery, Veers, Thompson, Messer, and Miller. Man, one win away from capturing the Class A Region 4 Section 1 championship for a second consecutive season. A win by Sherman, and a winner-take-all game will be played Monday at, we believe to be, Sherman, should the Tide be victorious here tonight. So haven't got confirmation on that, but the way that we feel that the way the other brackets are being set up, the way it was, if it's the same as it was in softball, the winner of the losers bracket contest that can force a winner-take-all game would have the opportunity to host. So man, the top seed, Sherman the second seed, and these teams, they had a had a tough time in its opener against Tug Valley, defeating the Panthers 5-3, where they advanced to the winners bracket final or winners bracket championship round on Thursday, disposing of Buffalo Putnam 11-2. Sherman lost their opener to Buffalo, dropped down in the losers bracket to where they had a tough time against the Van Bulldogs, needing a walk-off to survive the Bulldogs 10-9 in that contest on Wednesday evening. The Tide trailed the Bulldogs 9-6 late, but rallied to tie the game at 9 and went on to win 10-9 on a walk-off in the seventh inning. They then defeated Tug Valley 16-0 on Thursday in 5 innings to advance to the finals of the losers bracket, where they won a tough game last night with the Buffalo Bison, defeating them 2-1 to get to this point where they have to win or their season's over. So it's real simple as that. Man wins, they're sectional champs. Sherman wins, we'll do it again on Monday. As the lineups are being completed, we're being finished with the introductions and everything, and we'll be set for baseball here very shortly on Miller Sports Broadcasting on YouTube.
Hey guys, thank you for tuning in to watch Man High School baseball. Bill Lusk will be the main caller. I'll be here working the remote and scoreboard. If it's okay with Bill, sometimes me and him might trade in and out. It just depends on the mood, but mostly you'll be hearing Bill Lusk as we are getting ready to get set for Man High School baseball live on Mills Sports Broadcast. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to William T. Carter Field on the campus of Man High School, Man, West Virginia. For tonight's Class Single A, Region 4, Section 1 Championship, Sherman and Man set to do battle here. Caleb Blevins on the mound, getting a little bit of last-minute instructions and encouragement from Brady Hall Montgomery, first baseman, and third baseman Bo Thompson. We're set for baseball as Cole Whitehead, center fielder, will lead things off for the Sherman Tide, looking to get on base and start an early rally for the Tide. Blevins works from the windups. First pitch on his way, and it's going to hit Whitehead. It's the very first pitch of the game. Not a good start for Blevins and the Hillbillies, as Whitehead will trot on down to first base. Hit by the pitch to start the contest. That's Clay Massey, the second baseman, stepping into the plate for the Sherman, or stepping up to the plate for the Sherman Tide, as Preston Blankenship will go out and talk to Caleb Blevins as they work on the area out in front of the mound where Blevins' plant foot would be when he finishes his rotation. So Blankenship returns to the plate. He'll take his position behind the plate, and we'll wait the first pitch from Blevins to Massey. Again, the Hillbillies win, they're sectional champs. Sherman wins. We'll do it again Monday. First pitch up high, ball 1-0 the count to Clay Massey. Holden Allen in the on-deck circle. He will be pitching tonight, hitting third. Josh Jenkins, third baseman, hits fourth. Seth Ward catching, bats fifth. 1-0 offering, swung on and fouled off the fencing behind home plate. 1-1 the count. Jared Butcher, shortstop, will bat sixth. Austin Davies, designated hitter for right fielder Jace Evans. Davies hits seventh. A.J. Skeens at first base, batting eighth. And Logan Green in left field, batting ninth for the Sherman Tide. 1-1 count. Blevins checking the runner, and now the pitch to Massey. He squares and bunts, pops it up. And Blevins is not going to be able to catch it, but he'll field it and throw. And no play over there as the ball drops, and the throw, I don't know if the throw would have been in time or not, as Blevins had a little bit of trouble fielding that bunt off of the wet grass here, and the throw was wide of the bag, and Massey and Hall Montgomery could have collided on the play. It's one of them dangerous plays where the wrist of Brady Hall Montgomery was exposed, and looked like Massey may have got the worst of it coming down his ankle. He may have turned his ankle a little bit, may have stunned it. We'll see. It doesn't look like that he's coming out of the game, and neither does Hall Montgomery as he sits down there and clenches his fist, gets some feeling back in his wrist there, and we're set for baseball. Sherman will score that an infield single with two runners on to start, and Holden Allen, the pitcher, at the plate trying to help his own cause early in this game. And Blevins' first offering is fouled back. 0-1 to count to Holden Allen. Blevins and Sherman have some history this season. The Tide, in fact, Josh Jenkins, the on-deck hitter, hit a walk-off home run back in their first meeting at Sherman as the 0-1 offering is high, 1-1 to count to Holden Allen. Jenkins hit a walk-off 2-run home run in the first meeting between the two teams, and then when they met just a couple of weeks ago here in Man, Blevins got the better of Jenkins with a grand slam and Man's win over Sherman. The 1-1 is called strike on the outside corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes the count to Holden Allen. With Cole Whitehead leading off second base and Clay Massey leading off first. Brady Hall Montgomery playing up along the edge of the grass, protecting against a bunt here. 1-2 count. All bunts are off here. 1-2 offering on its way. Swung on and fouled onto the Little League field. We'll do it again. Blevins, who came on in relief of Man's 5-3 win over Tug Valley on Tuesday, is making his first appearance since that time. Blevins has appeared in over 12 games this season. 1-2 offering up high, 2-2 the count. You know, we've seen in the past that if Blevins is unable to get this batter, we may see Coach Mike Crosby make a pitching change here early on. We've seen it before. We've seen him do it after just 11 pitches at Logan with Braxton Messer, as the offering 2-2 is fouled off the light pole out along the left field line of the Little League field and ricochets back into play. 2-2 remains the count. Braxton Messer started against Logan last week, gave up 2 hits and walked a batter, just 11 pitches. Coach Mike Crosby made the pitching change early. Messer failed to retire a batter. Caleb Blevins comes in, walks the first batter, but then strikes out the next 3. And the 2-2 is high, 3-2 the count. Blevins pitched very well in that contest against Logan last week before the Wildcats were able to plate 4 runs in the 5th inning and defeat the Hillbillies 5-3. 3-2 on its way. Blevins swing, and Allen sends a drive deep into left field. Miller is back. It's going to be off the bottom of the fence as Miller can't make the catch. He'll quickly get it into the shortstop. Here comes a throw from Vance. It's going to be up the line, and Preston Blankenship will have to jump and make the catch. It's a long single for Holden Allen, but an RBI, and Sherman is on the board. They lead 1-0 early in this contest. RBI single for Holden Miller. Good job there in left field by Colton Miller to get the ball back in and prevent any further damage, and hold Allen, at first base with a long single. And now Man will elect to intentionally walk Josh Jenkins. This will set up a force on the infield. Anywhere on the field there is a force, as Seth Ward, the catcher. So after the intentional pass, Ward will step in looking to do some damage against Blevins and the Hillbillies, looking to extend this 1-0 lead for the Tide. Bases full of Tide. Blevins working from the stretch. First pitch is outside for a ball as Preston Blankenship unable to frame that pitch. 1-0 the count to Seth Ward. Big opportunity here for the Tide to break this one open early on. And pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike. 1-1 to count to Seth Ward. Nobody out here in the top of the first inning. Ward facing a 1-1 count. Blevins with the pitch. Outside, 2-1 now the count to Seth Ward. Massey, the runner, at third. Holden Allen at second. Josh Jenkins at first. Blevins comes set. 16th pitch on the way. Is outside, 3-1 to count now with nobody out here in the top of the first. As I look down in the Hillbilly dugout, and Jack Daniels little bit beside himself right now, the control issues that Blevins is having thus far. But it's still early. He can get out of it here. 3-1. Swung on, popped up. If this stays on the infield, it will be an infield fly. Instead, it's carrying out to left field. Colton Miller with the catch, and it's not deep enough to score the run. Runners will have to hold one away on an out. Fly out to left field. Miller with the put out. One away in the top of the first, and that brings shortstop Jared Butcher to the plate. Butcher, the sixth guy in the lineup to come to the plate for the Tide. Waits the first pitch from Blevins. Blevins checking the runners. Now the pitch. In the dirt for a ball, 1-0 the count. Good block by Preston Blankenship to prevent any further advancement from the runners. Blevins at 18 pitches currently in the first inning. It's something that we'll keep an eye on as we move forward in this ball game, as West Virginia high school rules, actually National Federation of High School rules, state 110 pitches for a game. 1-0 is high, 2-0 the count. Josh Jenkins, the runner at first, threw a complete game in Sherman's 2-1 win over Buffalo last night. Tossed 106 pitches, going over the 3-day threshold of 71 pitches. So Jenkins unavailable for tonight and Monday's contest, as the 2-0 is fouled off the screen. 2-1 to count. As our camera guy, Daniel Hensley, breathes a sigh of relief, as it's good news that fence was there. Otherwise, the iPad would have disintegrated, I would. Or Miller, excuse me, Daniel Miller. Say Hensley, I don't. 2-1, swung on, popped up in the center field. Here comes Jace Aggins. Ball's going to drop for a hit. They have a force at second base, and Aggins overthrows and hits Blevins standing in front of the plate. RBI single for Butcher, and it's 2-0 Sherman. Bases still loaded. One out, and the designated hitter Austin Davies to the plate. So either way, an RBI had
now batting for Sherman, the designated hitter, number 29, Austin Davies.
Had Aggins went to second, they would have had a second out on the force of Jenkins at first base, who had to go halfway on that play to make sure he wouldn't have got doubled up if it was caught. Strike one, the first pitch to Davies. 0-1 on the way, and it's out. Yeah, it's outside for a called strike. 0-2 on the outside corner. A little delayed call from our home plate umpire. 0-2, one out here. Big pitch right here coming up for Caleb Blevins. Strikeout would be huge here. 0-2 on its way. And outside, 1-2 the count to Austin Davies with A.J. Skeens in the on-deck circle. Blevins a check of the runners, comes set, and the pitch swung on a miss. Strike three, strikeout number one for Blevins, and a big second out in this first inning as A.J. Skeens steps into the box. Falling behind is nothing new for Man. They fell behind 2-0 in the game against Buffalo on Thursday, and Tug Valley jumped out to an early 2-0 lead on them as well in this sectional play. So the Hillbillies playing from behind. It's nothing new for him as Blevins tries to work out of the jam. First pitch to Skeens is a called strike on the outside corner, 0-1. Skeens waits the 0-1, and Blevins with the pitch is swung on and fouled at the plate. 0-2 the count, and Caleb Blevins is one pitch away from working out of a jam and limiting the damage to just 2 runs here in the top of the first inning, as the Tide have pushed across 2 runs on 3 hits. 0-2 count. Blevins to the plate. Swung on and hit. That's going to be over the head of Gavin Blankenship and into right field. 1 run will score. Here comes a second run across. He scores, and the Tide extend their lead to 4-0 on the 2-run single by A.J. Skeens. That brings Logan Green, the left fielder, to the plate. Green will be the 9th hitter to step into the box for the Sherman Tide, the 9th batter to come to this plate in the first inning. Moving up to second and holding is Butcher, and we will have a pitching change here as looks like Caleb Vance will take over for Blevins on the mound. So Vance will take over for Blevins, who will exit. While they sort through all that, let's step aside real fast. We'll be back. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field, Class A, Region 4, Section 1 baseball tournament championship game. If Man wins, it's a championship game. If Sherman wins, currently the tied up 4-0, winner take all game Monday for the championship and the berth in the regional tournament. And Logan Green steps into the plate and faces Caleb Vance, who takes over on the mound for Caleb Blevins, who right now has gave up 4 runs on 4 hits, 1 intentional walk. He hit a batter, and he struck out 1 in his 2/3 of inning. First pitch, a swing and a miss by Green from Vance. Vance, runners at first and second, looking to work, and second pitch, Green shows bunt, pulls back, and takes a ball, 1-1. The count. Sherman, as we mentioned, in a must-win situation, played 4 runs here in the first inning, off to a good start. They started by loading the bases. In the very first inning, 4 batters reached as the 1-1 is outside. 2-1 is the count to Logan Green, the right fielder. If Green reaches, Cole Whitehead, Clay Massey bats second. Cole Whitehead will come to the plate as that pitch is swung on and fouled. On to the Little League field, 2-2 remains. 2-2 now the count, with 2 outs in the top of the first. Cole Whitehead got the inning going by reaching first base after Blevins hit him on the first pitch. Massey singled, and then Allen delivered an RBI single off the left field fence. The 2-2 swung on and hit the third. That's Bo Thompson charging. Thompson has that ball handcuffed, gets rid of it. Safe, not in time, as Logan Green beats that ball out, and Thompson had to charge that ball. That ball was hit slowly and on this infield grass, even though it has rained. The grass slowed that ball down quite a bit, and when Thompson got to it, the ball kind of handcuffed him a little bit, and Green was able to beat that out for an infield single. Now the bases are loaded yet again, and Cole Whitehead, the leadoff batter, the 10th batter to come to the plate for the Tide, as that pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Cole Whitehead. If you're Sherman, this is the start that you expected getting off the bus when you came over here. 4 runs, 10 batters to the plate as Whitehead swings and misses. 1-0, 1-1 the count now to Whitehead. For the Tide, when you're in a winner take all, when you're in a you must win situation, you want to get off to as best of a start as you can. And 4 runs, I think they would appreciate that very much, as the pitch is in there for a strike. 1-2. Two outs, 1-2, 4-0. Sherman leads. 1-2 pitch on its way, and swung on and hit to short. There's Blevins. He'll field. He won't have a play, as another run comes across, and it is now 5-0 Sherman. And the bases are loaded for Cole Massey.
Now to play for Sherman, the second baseman, number 10, Clay Massey.
So another infield single for the Tide. And they now lead 5-0, and Clay Massey on first base. Clay Massey at the plate looking to keep the inning going. He's 1 for 1 with a single and a run scored, as takes the first pitch. Strike, 0-1 to count. Currently the Tide have 5 runs on 6 hits, as that pitch is swung on and hit down the left field line. It's trouble, and it's going to drop. 1 run will score, 2 runs will score. Motoring all the way around first base is Cole Whitehead, and the inning continues for the Tide. It's now 8-0 Sherman, and this man crowd is stunned. 3-run double by Massey, and the hit parade continues.
Number 1, Holden Allen.
For the Tide, and Logan Allen, who started it all with a single off the left field fence, steps in with a runner in scoring position, looking to continue this run attack as Allen takes a pitch outside. 1-0 the count. Eight-run first inning for the Tide, as Vance delivers and it's outside. 2-0 now the count. Vance set at the rubber. The 2-0. Swung on and fouled off to the Little League field again. 2-1 now the count. To Holden Allen with Josh Jenkins in the on-deck circle. Vance set at the rubber. 2-1 pitch on its way. Outside, 3-1. Now the count. As Allen awaits the 3-1 delivery from Vance. Here it comes. Swung on a miss. Strike 2. Count now full. And again, man is 1 pitch away from getting out of the inning for the 3rd time. Correction, 4th time. 2 outs, 3-2 count. The pitch swung on and hit down the right field line. That is going to drop for a base hit. And coming around third will be Massey with the 9th run of the inning. And the Tide just continue to build and build and build. It's 9-0 on the 2nd RBI single of the inning for Holden Allen. And now Josh Jenkins will come to the plate. Jenkins was intentionally walked back in the 1st inning. Well, intentionally walked his first at bat because we remained in the 1st inning.
Josh Jenkins.
And I say intentionally walked in the 1st inning. We've yet to get out of the 1st inning. We've yet to go to the bottom of the 1st. Jenkins now with a chance to hit. Vance, first offering, swung on and fouled off the fence in front of head coach Mike Crosby. 0-1 to count to Josh Jenkins. As Caleb Vance will deliver pitch number 19. Caleb Blevins threw 28 pitches. Pitch is on its way, and it's swung on and hit by the third baseman, Bo Thompson, in the left field. And stopping at second will be Allen. And the inning continues as Thompson had a little bit of trouble getting over there to field that one. I'd have to imagine that is a single, given the position that Thompson was playing and had to make a backhand attempt. That ball was still moving. So now Blankenship will go out and call everybody on the infield in, try to settle them down, as Sherman with runners on first and second, and Seth Ward stepping in to the box. Ward flew out to left field for the first out of this first inning, as the first four batters reached for the Tide. Holden Allen delivered an RBI single. Then Jared Butcher singled to make it 2-0. A.J. Skeens had a two-run single, make it 4-0. Then Cole Whitehead had an RBI single to make it 5-0. A three-run double by Clay Massey put a snowman on the board and make it 8-0. And then Holden Allen with an RBI to make it 9-0. And now Seth Ward with the chance to get a base hit and hang double digits on the board in the first inning here for the Tide as he swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1 to count. Again, if you're just tuning in with us, I don't think anybody could have envisioned this start for the Sherman Tide. 9 runs to start. 0-1 on its way, and it hits Ward, and the bases will be loaded again for Jared Butcher, who had an RBI single, and we'll get a courtesy runner at first base for the catcher, Seth Ward, and I think that will be Bryce Mills as we await the official word. And now Jack Daniels will come out and have a conversation with Caleb Vance, who has thrown 21 pitches, and Bryce Mills will indeed run for the catcher, Seth Ward, over at first base. And we'll get another pitching change. And so while the Hillbillies make the change, we'll step aside and get the changes and be back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field on the campus of Man High School, Man, West Virginia. Sherman leading Man 9-0 in the top of the first inning, and Bo Thompson on in relief of Caleb Vance, who came on in relief of Caleb Blevins. And Thompson nearly hits Butcher with the first pitch as a curveball backs Butcher off the plate. 1-0 the count. So, Man trying to get out of this inning. Vance failed to register an out in his pitch, in his 20-some pitches of relief as Butcher swings and misses. Swing and misses at the 1-0 pitch. 1-1 the count. 2 outs here. Bases loaded. Allen at third, and the pitch swung on and missed. 1-2 the count as Allen is the runner at third base. Jenkins at second for Sherman, and a courtesy runner, Bryce Mills, over at first. 1-2 on its way is up high. 2-2 the count now to Jared Butcher. As Sherman continue the hit parade. Swing and down the line past the diamond third baseman. It's going to get 1 in. It's going to get 2 in. And the Tide have put a pair of sticks on the board. They lead 11-0. We're still in the first inning. That brings up Austin Davies, a strikeout victim, back in the first inning for the second out. Man, still trying to get that third out. 11-0 the score, and Davies swings at a fastball up and away. 0-1 the count. Thompson comes set at the rubber. Sets again, and the pitch swung on, popped up, and it'll go out of play behind home plate. 0-2 the count. So yet again, the Hillbillies, for the 6th time, have 2 strikes on the batter, trying to get this last out of the first inning. Pitch outside, 1-2 the count now to Austin Davies. Again, a strikeout victim in his first at bat. Thompson set, check of the runner at second. Now the 1-2 pitch is up high, 2-2 the count now. Once again, Josh Jenkins threw 106 pitches last night in the win over Buffalo. Holden Allen has yet to throw a pitch here, and the 2-2 is a called strike at the knees, and the inning comes to a close, but not before the Tide put 11 runs on the board, 10 hits, no errors. Sherman leaves the bases loaded. We played a half inning of play. Sherman 11, man coming to bat. Back after this.
All right, guys, we're back. For those of you who are listening to Bill Lusk, he is calling the game. I am working the scoreboard and the remote for today's contest. Bill Lusk knows man more than I do, so I decided to let him take this over. And while Jace Atkins and Gary come up the bat, you were going to listen to Bill Lusk. We're sending it back over to Bill Lusk.
Thank you, Daniel. First pitch to Jace Atkins, swung on a miss on a ball in the dirt. 0-1 to count to the Hillbilly center fielder. Jace Atkins, Caleb Vance, Caleb Blevins, the top three in the lineup. Preston Blankenship, Brady Hall Montgomery, and Drake Beers designated hitter 4, 5, 6. Bo Thompson bats 7. Braxton Messer and Colton Miller rounds out the batting lineup for the Hillbillies as Atkins takes a ball inside. 1-1 to count to Jace Atkins as that pitch is a called strike on the corner. 1-2. The count to Jace Atkins as the Hillbillies. The important thing for man here is Atkins fouls a 1-2 pitch off the fence along the first base side. 1-2 remaining count. The important thing for the Hillbillies here, you're down 11-0. You can't get them all back at once. It's important to just get runners on and try to chip away at the lead. Maybe get 2 runs here, 3 in the next inning, 2 or 3 in the third. Keep Sherman off the board. And before you know it, you'll be right back in this contest. Man does have the ability to put 11 runs on the scoreboard. 1-2 to count to Atkins. Allen's offering, swung on, hit back up the middle, and there's a start for the Hillbillies. Base hit for Jace Atkins to get things going. And Caleb Vance will step into the box and look to keep this rally going. Man in a spot like this early would like to lay down some sacrifice bunts, get the runners in motion, put the pressure on the defense. And I would imagine right now, with an 11-0 lead, Coach Jack Daniels down in that third base coaching box is going through the signs, just telling Vance, get on base any way that you can, and let's keep this inning going. First pitch, swung on and missed. 0-1 to count to Caleb Vance, who started the game at shortstop, moved to pitcher, and is now playing third base. And before the 0-1, Allen will fire over to first base. Nothing doing there as Atkins dives back safely. And clouds thickening over William to the Carter Field, and a throw over again. Nothing doing again. As kind of a little bit of some mixed clouds. There's some gray clouds, maybe a black cloud out there. There are some blue skies, patches of white clouds. We've got a mixture as the pitch is outside. 1-1 to count. And in the event that we should have rain in the forecast, if this game was to be suspended, any pitcher that is ineligible for the game today will be ineligible for the completion of this contest when it resumes, whether it be a Monday, Tuesday, maybe even a Wednesday. 1-1 pitch in the dirt. 2-1 to count. Now they got the runner hung up, and Atkins will be able to get back safely. 2-1 now the count as the ball was in the dirt, and Atkins thought about going to second base, got halfway between first and second, then put the brakes on and retreated back to first and was able to slide in ahead of the throw from the catcher, Seth Ward. Two and one to count. To Caleb Vance. Atkins goes on the pitch. Throw down. Is going to be up the line and not in time. And Jace Atkins has a stolen base. And the count 2-2 now to Caleb Vance, and Hillbillies with the runner in scoring position. It's 2-2. Nobody out. As we approach the 7 o'clock hour, not quite yet. We're 20 minutes from that. But a long first inning for the Tide, and now the Hillbillies step up to the box and see if they can't get a base runner again and see if they can't draw a runner, bring Caleb Blevins to the plate with two runners on. Full count now to Caleb Vance. Allen checking the runner at second. 3-2 on its way. Ball four. And the Hillbillies have two runners on. Caleb Blevins stepping to the plate. Blevins started as the pitcher. Now he is the shortstop looking to get man on the scoreboard here. And Blevins has the opportunity to put the Hillbillies up, or put the Hillbillies on the board here and draw them closer than this 11-run deficit. First pitch on its way, swung on and missed. Blevins had intentions of putting 3 on the board there. Comes up empty on that swing, 0-1 to count to Caleb Blevins. Jace Aggins leads from first. Caleb Vance leads, or Jace Aggins leads for second. Now will break for third as the pitch is in the dirt and kicks away from the catcher. I would have to imagine it goes down as a wild pitch. Move Aggins up to third. Holding at first base was Caleb Vance. A good read there by Caleb Vance at first. The ball didn't kick too far away for him to take second. Blevins swings at the 1-1 and fouls it off. 1-2 the count. So Jace Aggins got a lead off second. As soon as the pitch was in the dirt, he read it well and was able to advance to third base. Vance holds at first. 1-2 the count to Blevins. Allen with 1-2 pitch. Blevins swings and sends a drive into the gap. Out in left center field. It's going to get down. It'll get 1 in for the Hillbillies. Here comes Vance around second. He will be held up at third. Caleb Blevins with an RBI double for the Hillbillies. They're on the board. They trail 11-1. But Preston Blankenship coming to the plate. Blankenship is the team leader in RBIs with 39, looking to get number 40 if he's able to get Vance home from third. So just like Sherman did in the top half, the Hillbillies with an opportunity to get the first 4 on, and Blankenship takes a pitch inside at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 to count. Again, Blankenship with 39 RBIs on the year. That is tops on the team. The 0-1 outside. 1-1 to count to Preston Blankenship. In the on-deck circle, Brady Hall Montgomery, the team's leading hitter with an average near 430. 1-1 on its way. And it's in the dirt. Good block by the catcher to keep it in front of him and keep Vance from scoring from third. It's a 2-1 count on the scoreboard. Right now here in the first inning, a lot of ones on the board. 11-1 in the first. Pitch is up high for a ball. 3-1 now the count. Man looking to chip away, as we mentioned prior to their opening. And Blankenship will get that 40th RBI. He will get number 41 as Blevins comes in to score. 2-run single. Man has plated 3 runs. They trail 11-3. And just like we talked about, you can't get them all back at once, but you can chip away. And eventually, if you keep chipping away, you will have big innings and have the opportunity to get back in this contest. So a 2-run single for Blankenship. And a courtesy runner.
Number 6, Brady Hall Montgomery.
Courtesy runner for the Hillbillies for Blankenship. I do believe that is Hayden Fraley was looking to get the number. Usually Fraley is the courtesy runner when Gavin Klein is not in the lineup. Klein is playing the field but being DH'd for. So Brady Hall Montgomery steps into the plate, and Montgomery takes a pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to the West Virginia State commit. Brady Hall Montgomery will continue his college career for the Yellow Jackets at West Virginia State. Fine baseball program in the state of West Virginia. In fact, I think it's one of the best programs in the state, as Hall Montgomery fouls a pitch out of play. 1-1 to count. And there's a lot of Logan County bloodline that has came out of West Virginia State, especially Man High School. Jordan Simpson, Braden Griffin, 2 that come to mind that recently committed to West Virginia State. And a very unique story about Brady Hall Montgomery that goes beyond his athletics. In fact, Brady Hall Montgomery's success in the classroom. I'll get to that after this 1-1 pitch here as Hall Montgomery swings and fouls it in at the box. 1-2 the count. Brady Hall Montgomery, from kindergarten till his senior year of high school, has never missed a day of school unless he's missed for athletic reasons or academic reasons. So a very cool story and a very high honor for the kid that stretches beyond his athletics, which is no wonder he's going to West Virginia State. As the attendance director for Logan County School, Kathy Aggins, was quoted as saying, and in all her years of serving as attendance director of Logan County Schools, she can't recall if she's ever had a kid go through her entire years without missing a day of school. As Hall Montgomery swings and misses, he will be retired because first base was occupied. But the ball was in the dirt, and moving up to second is the courtesy runner Fraley. The Hillbillies have a runner in scoring position at second base for Drake Veers, the designated hitter. Veers steps into the plate, steps into the box, steps to the plate, awaits the first pitch from Allen. Here it comes. Veers takes a pitch in the dirt. 1-0 the count to Drake Veers, the designated hitter. Again, hitting for Gavin Klein, the second baseman. Gavin Klein is the grandson of Man High School softball coach Randy Epperly. 1-0 offering is high. 2-0 the count. So a lot of storylines on this Hillbilly team. Of course, Caleb Blevins, we've failed to mention it, is the son of Man High School basketball coach T.J. Blevins. 2-0 on the outside corner for a called strike. 2-1 to count. Man trails 11-3, looking to get that run across from second base, and Veers swings and fouls a pitch out of play, even up the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes. As we keep getting notifications on our Facebook Messenger and notifications on the YouTube feed, I'm sure one on my notification would like for me to provide the NL Central standings. No, Evan Riggins, I will not. I will not, because the only thing that really matters to me is the Cubs are in fourth, but we're not far out of third. We will catch the Pirates. At least we're not the Reds. 2-2 offering fouled off at the plate. And a pitch outside, 3-2 now the count. And for you Reds fans, I'm not dogging on you. It's not my fault that you have an owner that you do that wants to trade everybody and doesn't want to sign anybody or sell the team. It's not my fault. I feel your pain because the Cub ownership ain't doing much either. 3-2 offering on the way. Ball 4. And Veers draws a 1-out walk. As looks like we're going to have a meeting at the mound. And this is the opportunity here to bring up the discussion about this pitch count rule, as Logan Allen currently at 32 pitches, Holden Allen at 32 pitches. I'll get to Logan in a second here, but Holden Allen 32 pitches. 110 is the pitch mark, and well, as I say that, is Sherman making a pitching change? So we'll look around to make sure. Looks like we may have Jared Butcher coming in to pitch as he walks to the dugout to get a new glove, it would appear. And now Allen. See, looks like it's going to be position changes. Look like Allen may move to can't quite make out the number. It may be A.J. Skeens, actually. Looks like 11. A.J. Skeens will come to the mound. Holden Allen, not quite sure where he's going to up unless it's just a straight pitching change. Short or third to first, or third to pitcher, pitcher to third, pitcher to first. I I thought I seen a number 6 go into the dugout, but there's no 6 on my roster, so I'm making a pitching change. While we do that, let's step aside for a few minutes. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field, Class A, Region 4, Section 1 Championship. 11-3, Sherman leads. Bo Thompson steps into the box and swings at the first pitch that sails over his head. 0-1 to count to Thompson, who is facing AJ Skeens, who is on in relief of Holden Allen, who moves to first base after just 32 pitches. We'll see if the Sherman Tide elect to bring Allen back. Again, he's at that threshold where he would be able to come back as Thompson swings and hits a ground to short. The shortstop fields it, has trouble, handcuffs it. The throw, not in time. The runner, Hayden Fraley, is tagged out at the plate. It turns out to be a double play as Thompson grounds into a force out. 6-4. Shortstop had trouble with the ball and handcuffed him as he went to flip it to the second baseman. The second baseman fires it to first base. It gets by. Hayden Fraley, trying to score from third on the errant throw, is cut down at the plate to end the inning for the Hillbillies. 3 runs on 2 hits. They leave a runner on base. We played 1 inning of play. 11-3, Sherman leads. Back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field, campus of Mann High School, Mann, West Virginia. move to the top of the second, and A.J. Skeens, the pitcher, steps in and lines the first pitch foul down the left field line and off the fence. 0-1 to count. It's Bo Thompson back on working in relief of Caleb Vance, who relieved Caleb Blevins, the starter for the Hillbillies. A reminder, we're only in the top of the second inning. Some man's on their third pitcher, and the Sherman Tide have made a pitching change of their own as Holden Allen exited the contest after just 32 pitches, and A.J. Skeens is on in relief. 0-1 on its way. Swung on and popped up on the infield. Brady Hall Montgomery starts back, now stops, camps under it, makes the catch for the first out of the inning. Big first out for the Hillbillies as they just played at 3 runs after Sherman scored 11 in the first. Very important here for Man to have a quick inning, get back in the dugout, get the bats to the plate, see if they can't score maybe three, maybe more. That brings Logan Green to the plate. He's 1 for 1 with a single in the first. Now back to my point about Logan, I was going to say, Man with the win can become the second Logan County baseball team to advance to the regional championships starting May 23rd. Logan punched their ticket, winning the Class AA Region 4 Section 2 championship 6-4 over Scott. 1-0 on its way and outside for a ball. 2-0 the count. And should the Wildcats advance out of the regionals, more than likely they will be the top seed in the Class AA state tournament field after the Tigers of Shady Spring pulled off the upset of the tournament, knocking off the Patriots of Independence High School, the number 1 ranked team in Class AA. 3-0 now the count. That pitch is taken for a strike. 3-1 the count. Thompson set with a 3-1. Here it comes. Swung on, hit into the alley out there in center field. I don't know if anybody's going to get to it for Man, and they won't. Braxton Messer will play it on a hop. It's a 1-out single for Logan Green. Back to the top of the lineup, Cole Whitehead, who is 1 for 1 with a pair of runs scored and an RBI, will step to the plate. Whitehead. Whitehead was hit by the pitch on the very first pitch of the game from Caleb Blevins and came around to score on a Holden Allen RBI single. And then his second at bat in the first inning, he delivered an RBI single and came around to score on the 3-run double. As that pitch is swung on and hit down the left field line, it's fair, it's in the corner, it's bouncing around, and the third base coach will wave him. Here comes the play at the plate. It is airmailed as the run scores, and Sherman leads 12-3 on the double by Cole Whitehead. His second RBI of the evening, his second RBI of the game.
Now batting for Sherman, the second baseman, number 10, Clay Massey.
Kind of a confusing play down there on my part as I'm watching the play. I don't know if you was able to see it on our YouTube feed, but the third base coach for Sherman was waving Green around third, and at the same time he had his hand held up. Must have been to hold Whitehead at second with the double, but keep the runner Green moving. And it's a 12th run for the Sherman Tide as the first pitch to Clay Massey is fouled off the screen. 0-1 to count. Thompson comes set, time called by the batter and granted by the home plate umpire. Still, if you're Man, you'd like to retire Sherman here without them scoring another run. You leave that runner out there in scoring position. Keep it a 12-3 game. Because the Hillbillies, if they can continue to put 3 on the board, they're going to be back in it before you know it. As Thompson's 0-1 sails over the head of Massey. 1-1 to count to Clay Massey, who is 2 for 2 with a 3-run double and a single and 2 runs scored in this contest. Thompson's 1-1 on its way. Swung on. That's going to drop for a base hit in front of Miller. He'll play it on a hop quickly, get it back in. Here comes the runner. Play at the plate. It's going to be not in time. As Preston Blankenship applied the tag, but Cole Whitehead got the hand between the legs of Blankenship, and Sherman now leads 13-3. as some fans, letting the home plate umpire have it. They thought they had Whitehead, but Blankenship, because of his placement at the plate, allowed a window for Whitehead to slide in safely. 13-3 now Sherman. Fourth RBI, third hit of the contest for Clay Massey, and Holden Allen steps into the plate. Allen is now the first baseman for the Tide, and it takes a ball. 1-0 the count. So Clay Massey, 3 for 3, pair of singles and 4 RBIs. As Holden Allen looks to continue it, lines a shot. What a catch by Gavin Klein! He will double the runner off second base. Gavin Klein, folks, I'm going to tell you, he's not the biggest kid out there, but he plays with the most heart of any of them out there. Snags a line drive out of the air, leaping, falling back, collects himself, and throws to shortstop. Caleb Blevins covering for the double play to end the inning. But Sherman puts 2 more runs on the board on 3 hits. No runners left on base. After 1.5, 13-3 Sherman. Back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field. We move to the bottom of the second inning. Man trails 13-3. Hillbillies looking to get back on the board here, as we got a little bit of a wind gust picking up for us outside the press box. I don't know if it's going to blow anything in, because right now, for those that are familiar with the location of the Man High School baseball field, familiar with the Man area, if for one thing, looking out back center field, back into the region that we call Rock House, it remains clear right there, so we appear to be pretty good with rain. But as folks can tell you, if it gets dark out of Rock House, run for the covers, because that's where the bad stuff comes from, as Braxton Messer steps in as behind in the count 1-2. And Messer looking to get on. 1-2 pitch outside and low. In fact, bounces right in front of the plate. 1-2 to count now to Messer. As we went to the break, for those watching on our YouTube feed, as the 2-2 offering is a inside, and it hits Messer. So the Hillbillies have a leadoff runner on for the second consecutive inning. And that'll bring up Colton Miller. Miller may hit in the 9 spot, but don't let that fool you. Miller's got one of the better averages on the team, up near 400, and he has multiple RBIs on the season. In fact, he's approaching nearly 20 RBIs on the year. He steps into the plate with an opportunity to move the runner up, and third baseman for Sherman playing up, and that's indeed what he does. Lay down a bunt, tough play, but he's got it, and nobody covering third. And now the shortstop cuts in front of Messer at second base, and the left fielder was booking in from left to prevent Messer from advancing to third. So it's a sacrifice bunt, as Miller Miller just pushed that bunt too hard towards the third baseman who was charging all the way. If he's able to get that down softly, he may have a single, as Jace Atkins, who led off the first inning with a single and scored on Caleb Blevins' RBI double, swings and fouls a pitch off the screen. But as I was saying before we went to break, Coach Mike Crosby came out of the dugout as the teams were exiting the field and kept Preston Blankenship out there to show him what he did wrong, as Atkins wears a 0-1 pitch. He's the second batter to get hit in this inning, and the Hillbillies have 2 runners on without the benefit of a hit. Both of them hit by the pitch as Caleb Vance steps in. Vance was a walk victim back in the first inning. He drew a walk on a full count and scored on Blankenship's 2-run single to give man their 3rd run. And now first pitch swing, and he swings and fouls it out of play behind us. 0-1 the count. But anyway, before the innings, Mike Crosby showing Crosby being a catcher himself in college and minor leagues and up in high school, showing Blankenship the proper way to block the plate and prevent any opening that would allow a runner to score, as it did in the top half of the inning. Correctable things, and one of the things that Mike Crosby and his coaching staff does in between innings are quick to correct their players, as is any coaching staff across the state of West Virginia. 2-1 now the count to Caleb Vance. And of course, being a former coach myself, it's easier to call the game and point this stuff out as it happens, as Vance swings and misses at offering 2-2. 2-2 the count now to Caleb Vance. Vance back in the box, awaits the 2-2, swung on and fouled off the screen. 2-2 remains the count. As we are going to presume that if Sherman was to win this game, they will meet Monday, as Vance swings and hits a chopper to third, and it's going to get by the third baseman. A little tricky hop as the third baseman went to break to cover the bag. It could have possibly been a double play. Josh Jenkins was at the bag. He was waiting on the ball to get to him, and as he went to field it, it kind of took an in-between tricky hop and got by him. So the bases are loaded for Caleb Blevins, and Blevins, who has 4 home runs this season for the Hillbillies. He does have a grand slam against the Tide this season. One swing of the bat can make this interesting, as Blevins takes a pitch outside for a strike on the corner. 0-1 to count. The 0-1 swung on, and it's hit into the gap. It's going to be over the right fielder's head off the fence. It's going to get 1 run in. It's going to get 2 runs in. Blevins heading for second, will be tagged out at second base, but it's a 2-run single. The 3rd RBIs of the contest for Blevins, and the Hillbillies answer the Sherman 2 spot with 2 of their own. And a runner on third. It's now 13-5.
Now play for the Billies, the catcher, number 15, Preston Blankenship.
Well played out there in right field by Jace Evans, as Blevins swung and hit that ball to the right field fence. It's only 230 down the line to right field. That ball was hit probably about 250 as the fence, or 280 down the line. So it's probably about 290 where Blevins hit it, and the fence is probably about 30 foot high out there in right field. As a count now 1-1 to Preston Blankenship. But the right fielder makes a great play to turn, knowing the ball was over his head, to play it off the fence and then fire a strike back into the second baseman, who gets it to the shortstop. 9-4-6 on the putout for a big second out. Otherwise, man would have runners at second and third with 1 out. And Blankenship in a 1-2 hole has a 2-run single. Back in the first inning, pitch swung on and drilled out into center field. The center fielder is back. He looks up. It's out of here. 2-run home run. Preston Blankenship, and just like that, what was once an 11-0 lead for the Sherman Tide is now down to 6. Man, it's closed the gap to 13-7. Folks, I'm going to tell you something. Don't go away just yet. This one is not over with by a long shot. 13-7. Man has scored 7 runs here in the first 2 innings. And conversation by the umpires down there. I don't know if there's lightning in the area, or I would presume that the conversation was some lightning that was off in the distance that the first base umpire is watching. I don't doubt that there was a loud crack, whether it was thunder or whether it was the crack of the bat of Preston Blankenship or that thump of home plate. Whatever the reason, there was a loud crack, but usually when there's lightning in the area, it is accompanied by thunder, as Brady Hall Montgomery takes a pitch outside for a ball, 1-0 the count. Now he watches another pitch sail out there, 2-0 the count. And if there is a lightning delay here, we will stop play, and then when play resumes, we'll see how the coaches elect to handle this pitching staff, because usually after a long delay, your pitchers the muscles may tend to relax a little bit as Hall Montgomery's ahead in the count 3-0. And there is the crack of thunder that we just now heard, and Mike Crosby, the first base umpire, looking off into the distance back towards the Huff Junction area of Huff Creek to see if they saw lightning. Hall Montgomery draws a walk. So So Drake Veers steps to the plate. Veers 0 for 1 with a walk back in the first inning and was erased on a fielder's choice. Takes a pitch outside for a called strike. 0-1 to count as that pitch caught the corner. Veers looking to continue this inning for the Hillbillies. 2 outs here, and Veers swings and sends a high fly ball in the left field. The left fielder breaks on it, breaks to his right, now camps under it, and the left fielder Green will retire Veers for the 3rd out. But the Hillbillies played 4 runs on 2 hits. We've played 2 complete from William to Carter Field in Man, West Virginia. Sherman 13, Man 7. Back after this.
All right, guys, welcome back. This is Daniel Miller. Bill Lusk is getting stuff ready. Just letting you know, if we are in a lightning delay, I will cut the feed, and we will take a break. And then once we're back, we'll get things started again. I'm assuming the rule is if you see lightning, it's automatically a 30-minute delay, and then once you see it again, the clock will restart. So with that being said, Bo Thompson's ready to pitch. I'm going to put it back over to Bill Lusk. Here comes the first pitch, and inside, ball 1.
Josh Jenkins, the batter for the Tide, 1 for 1 with an intentional walk and a single and 2 runs scored. Jenkins, as Daniel said, took a ball low, 1-0 the count, low and inside. Big inning here for the Hillbillies, looking to retire the Tide and get back in there and get these bats going. Bats are coming alive. The Hillbillies only have 4 hits, but they got 7 runs on the scoreboard. And for those that may be wondering, that may just be tuning in to the third inning, yes, the score's right. It is 13-7. You are watching a baseball game and not a football game, as the 2-0 offering is low, 3-0 the count to Josh Jenkins, and I would have to guess that Bo Thompson will be very careful on his 3-0 delivery, not to give Jenkins anything good to hit. Walks better than a home run, and that pitch is high for a ball. So Jenkins is aboard for the third time this evening.
Sherman, the catcher, number 21, Seth Ward.
Seth Ward steps to the plate, and Ward 0 for 1. He flew out in the first and was hit by the pitch in the first inning. As Sherman plated 11 runs. Since then, the Hillbillies have been able to outscore the Tide 7-2 since that 11-run inning. The first pitch is high for a ball. 1-0 the count to Seth Ward. As we do have partly cloudy skies in the area and thunder off in the distance. There was some lightning earlier, but so far nothing to stop play, as the 1-0 pitch is a called strike. 1-1 the count. The 1-1 on its way. Outside corner called strike. 1-2 the count now to Seth Ward. Bo Thompson's able to get this out. It would be big, because Jared Butcher is 2 for 2 with 2 singles waiting in the on-deck circle. 1-2 the count. Thompson sets again, sets a third time, and the pitch is high. 2-2 the count. Thompson, who is the Hillbilly ace on the team, has 8 wins against 1 loss. That 1 loss was to Chapmanville Regional High School just a few weeks ago. Thompson's 2-2 on his way, swung on, popped up on the infield. Let's see who wants it. Brady Hall Montgomery calls everybody off, and Hall Montgomery will make the catch for the first out to retire Ward. He is 0 for 2. And that'll bring Jared Butcher to the plate, as Butcher 2 for 2. A run-scoring single in the first, and a pair of singles in the first, one of them a run-scoring single. That put Sherman up 4-0. Thompson set, check, pitch, swung on, popped up in the center field. Center fielder coming in, Caleb Blevins out 3 steps out on the outfield grass to make the catch. 2 away. As that ball, I'll admit, if you're watching our YouTube feed, it did fool me for a second, because when it left the bat, I saw the center fielder Jace Aggins break, and then I saw Caleb Blevins break out. So I thought the ball was hit better than what it was, but nevertheless, it's a fly out. 2 away. Austin Davies, the designated hitter, 0 for 2, struck out twice back in the first inning, and takes a pitch low and away for a ball. 1-0 the count. Davies and Ward are the only 2 batters in the lineup without a hit for the Tide. Davies swings and misses at a fastball up in his zone. 1-1 the count to Austin Davies, as the wind continues to pick up, as the flags start blowing. Looks like the wind blowing in, as the flags out there in center field appear to be blowing towards the press box direction, as the 1-1 pitch is called. Strike 2. 1-2 the count. Now the wind settles down as the flags come to a still. 1-2 the count. Pitch swung on and missed. Strike 3, and the Tide get a leadoff walk but do nothing with it, as Man retires Sherman after 2.5 innings of play, 13-7 tied lead. Hillbillies coming to bat. We'll see if they can chip into this lead after this. Welcome back to William Tooby Carter Field on the campus of Man High School. Class A, Region 4, Section 2 Championship. Bo Thompson step into the plate for the Man High School Hillbillies. They trail 13-7. Thompson is hit by the pitch, and that is the third Hillbilly to be hit by the pitch. And Man, yet again, with the leadoff runner on. I'd have to imagine looking down there in that Sherman dugout that with 32 pitches that Holden Allen only threw, I'll have to imagine at some point in the contest, Sherman could elect to put Allen back in the contest. Now we get time, and it's a matter of a courtesy runner for Thompson. If it's Fraley becomes a pitch runner. Fraley has ran for the catcher. Fraley cannot run for the pitcher, as that is the conversation, as we'll see who we get. Is that Luke Haney? It is indeed Luke Haney, fullback, middle linebacker on the Man High School football team, that will be running for the Man Hillbillies, running for the pitcher, Bo Thompson, after Thompson was hit by the pitch to start the inning on the very first pitch. So we'll see if maybe Man can't parlay this into some runs as they've had all evening, as both guys that have been hit for the Hillbillies have came around to score. Only one that has drew a base on balls, or correction, only two that has drew the base on balls walked, as Messer pops the first pitch up in the center field. There is the center fielder to make the catch, and that is Cole Whitehead on the putout, one away in the Hillbilly half of the third. As Colton Miller steps into the plate, steps into the box for the Hillbillies, gets some last-minute instructions from third base coach Jack Daniels, as the third baseman, that's Josh Jenkins, is up on the edge of that grass, and he will line a shot right by Jenkins down in the left field. It's going to go down for a single, and Luke Haney holds at first base, and the top of the lineup rolls back around for the Hillbillies, and Jace Aggins, the leadoff hitter, 1 for 1. A single in the first, hit by the pitch. In the second inning, he has a stolen base and a pair of runs scored for the Hillbillies. Aggins, who had a hard single up the middle back in the first, has been swinging a hot bat as of late, takes a pitch high for a ball, 1-0 the count. Usually in a 7-inning contest, especially in the postseason, guys that are coming to the plate normally don't have their third plate appearance by the third inning. But we've got that on both sides as a line shot back to the bag. Line shot at third base, Josh Jenkins will fire over to second base to retire Luke Haney. Nothing Haney could have done on the play as he was already halfway caught out in no man's land. It's a line-out double play, and that's the inning for the Hillbillies. An inning that started with so much promise comes to a close with just one hit and one runner left on base. After 3 innings, 13-7, Sherman back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field, Class A, Region 4, Section 1 Championship. And the pitcher, A.J. Skeens, steps into the box and awaits the first offering from Bo Thompson. 13-7, Sherman on top, and the first pitch is on the outside corner, called strike. 0-1 the count to A.J. Skeens, 1 for 2 with a 2-run single. Back in the first inning. Skeens, Green, and Whitehead, 8-9-1 in the Sherman lineup as Skeens swings and misses on the 0-1. 0-2 the count quickly. Here in the top of the fourth inning, 13-7. Nothing doing in the third inning. It's kind of thought the game that we expected as the 0-2 offering is on the outside corner. Called third strike for Bo Thompson. Strikeout number 3. First out of the fourth inning, as we've through 3 innings. And Logan Green, the left fielder, steps in 2 for 2 with a pair of singles. Green swings and misses. 0-1 the count. Green looking to get on base for the third time, and the pitch is outside. 4-ball, 1-1 the count. Thompson came on in the first inning and has been on ever since, now working his 40th pitch as that pitch is skied into center field. There's Jace Aggins with the catch, 2 away in the top of the fourth inning, and back to the top of the lineup. Cole Whitehead up for the 4th time. He is 2 for 2 with a double, a single, hit by the pitch, 3 runs scored, and 2 RBIs. Whitehead will be hitting with, for the first time since he led off the contest with nobody on base. Whitehead fouls a pitch out of play. 0-1 the count. Whitehead in the box, waits the 0-1 offering. Pitch on the outside corner for a ball as Preston Blankenship was unable to frame it in enough time. 1-1, the count even. Now Thompson's 1-1 is inside, 2-1. Now the count 2. Cole Whitehead. And again, just like we talked about with Jace Aggins in the third inning, batters coming up as the 2-1 is on the outside corner. 2-2. It's batters that come up the third inning, usually at the top of the lineup. They're not getting their third plate appearance usually in a contest like this, but this is just a different contest right now. Kind of similar to a slow pitch softball game as Whitehead fouls a pitch out of play. 2-2 remains the count. Whitehead coming up in the top of the fourth inning for his fourth plate appearance. He had 2 in the first inning. 2-2, the count. Thompson, the pitch, swung on, lifted, in the right field. Messer drifting back, still drifting. That ball is off the top of the fence and bouncing around. Whitehead's got 2. He's heading for third. He's going to be in there with a sliding triple. And Cole Whitehead is a home run shy of the cycle. 3 for 3. Single in the first, double in the second, now a triple in the fourth as Whitehead nearly missed a home run. And Clay Massey, 3 for 3, steps in. Massey with 2 singles, a double. His second hit of the first inning, a 3-run double. And that pitch is grounded. Here's the third baseman, Vance Fields, throws in time to retire Massey and prevent Whitehead from scoring. So Sherman does nothing with the 2-out triple. In fact, they leave him stranded at third base. We've played 3.5. Sherman 13, man 7. Back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field, Campus Man High School. Class A, Region 4, Section 1 Championship, 13-7. Sherman leads as we move to the bottom of the fourth inning. The Hillbillies look to draw closer here with the 2-3-4 hitters in the lineup. Caleb Vance, Caleb Blevins, Preston Blankenship due up for the Hillbillies. And first pitch from A.J. Skeens to Vance is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Caleb Vance, who is 0 for 1. Reached on an error and has scored twice as he takes a pitch inside. 2-0 the count as Vance is able to back away from the pitch that nearly hit him. 2-0 is swung on and popped up along the infield. Who wants it? Shortstop is over calling the third baseman Jenkins off, and it will be Jared Butcher to make the catch for the first out. Something that the Sherman Tide has failed to do through 3 innings. That's retire the leadoff hitter as Skeens retires Vance on the pop-up. Jared Butcher on the put-out. Caleb Blevins into the box for the Hillbillies, and Blevins watches a pitch sail outside for a ball. 1-0 the count to Caleb Blevins, who had an RBI double back in the first inning and scored, and had a single and was thrown out at second base trying to stretch it into a double. But in his defense, the right fielder, Jace Evans, made a heck of a play on a ball that was hit off the fence and delivered a perfect strike to the cutoff man. 2-0 the count now to Blevins. He watches a curveball inside for a strike. Blevins disagrees, as does the man faithful behind the home plate as the pitch appeared to be high and inside, but reminder, it's not where it is, it's where it crosses the plate, and that pitch is swung on and fouled. 2-2 the count. As the Hillbillies look to draw closer. If you're just joining us, Sherman played at 11 runs in the first inning. Man, got 3 back in the first. Sherman answered with 2 more. Pitch is, did he hold up? Blevins thinks so, and the first base umpire agrees, so the count will run full 3-2 on the check swing by Caleb Blevins. To be honest, I'm not for sure that Blevins did go around. It was close up here, and the 3-2 offering is on the outside corner for a called strike 3. 2 away in the top of the 4th inning, and time called by the Sherman coaching staff, and it would appear as he's making it out to the mound, maybe he's making a pitching change, or maybe he's coming out to talk to how he wants to handle it back by Blankenship, who did have the 2-run home run back in the first inning. That appears what the conversation may be about. At first, the infield for Sherman started to come in, but the coach told him to back off. He wanted to have a word with his pitcher on how he wanted to handle this at bat. So, 13-7, bottom of the 4th inning, 2 outs. Blankenship at the plate, and a pitch from Skeens outside for a ball as the man faithful letting the home plate umpire have it. 1-0 the count. The pitch swung on and fouled out of play. 1-1 the count. Blankenship looking to get on for the 3rd time this evening. He had a 2-run single back in the first inning, 2-run home run in the 2nd inning. His 2-run home run brought Man to within 6, 13-7. That's where we stand as Blankenship watches a pitch outside for a ball. 2-1. Pitch swung on, laced into right field. The right fielder's not going to get this. It's going to find its way to the fence, and Blankenship rounds first, thinks about second, but puts the brakes on and retreats back to first. Blankenship 3 for 3 with 2 singles and a home run. And now Brady Hall Montgomery steps into the plate, and looks like we will get a courtesy runner as Hayden Fraley runs for the catcher. Fraley ran for the catcher back in the first inning. Of course, he didn't run for the catcher in the 2nd inning because Blankenship had the 2-run home run. Hall Montgomery now steps in, takes a pitch outside for a ball. 1-0 the count. Hall Montgomery 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Skeens check of the runner Fraley at first. Fraley breaks. Pitch is inside to throw down. Not going to be in time, and Fraley has a stolen base. As now the count is 2-0 to Brady Hall Montgomery, who has 34 RBIs on the season. He's looking to get home RBI number 35. A base hit could do that. Hall Montgomery swings as shortstop, broke to the bag, comes back, fires over in time. What a play by Jared Butcher over to Holden Allen. Butcher broke to second as if there might have been a pickoff attempt. Hall Montgomery swings. Butcher had enough time to get to the ball in the hole, set his feet, and make a perfect throw to retire Hall Montgomery. Nothing doing for the Hillbillies. They get a hit. They leave a runner in scoring position. After 4, 13-7, Sherman back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field. Man, West Virginia, Class A, Region 4, Section 1 Championship. 13-7. Sherman leads as the last two innings, the third and the fourth innings, have produced 0 runs after 20 runs in the first two innings. And Holden Allen, the first baseman, steps in and takes a pitch at the knees for a called strike. 0-1 the count for Sherman. 13 runs, 14 hits, 5 runners left on base. They have committed 1 error as the 0-1 is outside for a ball. 1-1 the count to Holden Allen, who is 2 for 3 with a pair of run-scoring singles and a line out to second base back in the third. Pitch swung on and fouled. 1-2 the count for Man. 7 runs, 6 hits, 4 runners left on base. Again, 20 runs scored in the first 2 innings. Since then, 0. As the 1-2 on its way, and it is outside low for a ball. 2-2 the count to Holden Allen, the first baseman for the Sherman Tide. 2-2 on its way, outside. 3-2 the count. The ever dangerous Josh Jenkins in the on-deck circle for the Tide. Jenkins with 10 home runs this season. 3-2 on its way is a called strike, letter high. First out of the contest, strikeout number, or first out of the 5th inning, excuse me. Strikeout number 4. 4. Strikeout number 4 for Allen. Jenkins steps in, and yet again, crack of thunder as our first base umpire looks around to make sure there's no lightning in the area. That may draw a delay here. Here's the pitch, and Jenkins takes a pitch for a strike at the letters inside. 0-1 to count, and that will draw a disagreement from the Sherman crowd. As pitch inside at the knees for a called strike. 0-2. So home plate umpire not making any friends tonight with either side here, as that pitch was clearly at the knees for a strike. Again, it's not where the catcher catches it, it's where it crosses the plate. 0-2 on its way is outside for a ball. 1-2 the count. At least that's what I've been told. So 1-2 on its way, and inside nearly hits Jenkins as he's able to lift his elbow up and over the ball. Otherwise, he would have been hit by the pitch. 2-2 the count, 1 out, top of the 5th. Pitch outside the count has now ran full. 3-2. For those not familiar with tournament play in West Virginia, we'll get to the ruling here after this pitch. 3-2 on its way. Swung on, and a high fly ball in the center field. Jace Aggins is back at the fence. He's at the wall, at the track. He will make the catch. Crashing into the blue top. Josh Jenkins thought he had a home run. That ball died at the last second as Jace Aggins was able to get to the fence, reach up, crash into the tarp, and retire Jenkins for the second out. Both these teams making good plays in the field and on the base paths, as Thompson's first pitch is a ball to catcher Seth Ward. Again, in West Virginia high school baseball and tournament play, you have to play 7 innings. Sherman currently ahead, 13-7. If this was a regular season contest and Sherman was ahead after 5 innings, the game could be called. Not so in tournament play. It must go 7 as the ball is outside, the pitch outside for a ball, I should say. 2-1 to count. I will get to a scenario shortly after this pitch as Ward is hit by the pitch and he is on base for the second time. For the second time, Ward is hit by the pitch. back in 2009, the Hillbillies and the Matewan Tigers played a contest here at William Tootie Carter Field. Man and Matewan were tied 4-4, bottom of the 7th inning. Hillbillies had runners on second and third. A rainstorm came through that halted play in the bottom of the 7th inning. Matewan had to come back the next day, get off a bus, make 2 pitches, go back home with a loss. Only in West Virginia would you see that. Jared Butcher steps in. Butcher takes a pitch outside for a ball, 0-1 to count. And it's happened many times before where the winning team is ahead with 1 or 2 outs to go in the bottom of the 7th inning, and the other team comes back to beat them as the 0-1 offering is high, 1-1 to count. So no suspended, no rain-shortened games in tournament play. It has to go 7. Ball in the dirt, 2-1 now the count to Jared Butcher, who is 2 for 3 with an RBI single. Back in the first inning, a single in the first and a flyout in the third as another crack of thunder comes over the stadium. And umpires looking off in the distance as the 2-1 pitch is on the outside corner for a strike, 2-2. Thompson, 2-2 offering with 2 outs. On its way, swung on and fouled. We'll do it again, 2-2 the count. As far as Man and Sherman in tournament play, nothing should come unexpected in this rivalry that dates back to Man's state championship run during the 2014 season as the 2-2 is outside for a ball, 3-2 the count. Sherman and Man locked up in a exciting regional semifinal game that the Hillbillies won 2-1 and went on to defeat Greenbrier West in regional finals as the runner breaks on the 3-2 pitch with 2 outs. It's popped up and it will bounce off the roof of the first base dugout and out of play. 3-2 the count. Man went on to beat Greenbrier West in that 2014 Class A Region 4 championship and went on to defeat St. Mary's and Notre Dame to capture their first state championship. 3-2 on its way. The runner goes again, and it is outside for a ball. Butcher is aboard with a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up Austin Davies, who is 0 for 3 with 3 strikeouts.
Sherman, the designated hitter, number 28, Austin Davies.
The walk is the second free pass issued by Thompson. Davies looking to get on the board for the first time today, and he pops one up down the left field line. Vance giving chase. Here comes Colton Miller, and the ball will drop foul as a sliding attempt by Colton Miller goes unsuccessful. But nevertheless, good hustle out there by Miller. Good hustle by Caleb Blevins and Caleb Vance as well, as 3 Hillbillies were in the area as that ball kept pushing foul. And neither one of them could come up with it. But a nice hustle play out there by Colton Miller to make an attempt on it. 0-1 to count. Pitch. Swing and a miss. 0-2. And Bo Thompson has Davies set up where he would like him. 0-2. Davies, 3 strikeouts. Thompson, 4 strikeouts on the evening, looking for number 5. 0-2 on its way is high. 1-2 the count. Thompson back on the rubber, check the sign from Preston Blankenship. Now he has the sign that he likes and a check of the runner at second. 1-2 on 0-2 on its way. 1-2 rather on its way. Swung on a miss. There is strikeout number 5 for Bo Thompson to retire the Tide in the 5th inning. But the Tide get no runs, no hits. They leave 2 runners on base. Through 4.5, 13-7. Sherman continues to lead. Back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field, Class A, Region 4, Section 1 Championship. Sherman, leading man, 13-7. And new pitcher for the Sherman Tide is the shortstop, Jared Butcher. Butcher takes over for A.J. Skeens. Skeens came on with 1 out in the 1st inning. Did a decent job, one may say, as Veer swings at the first pitch and pops it up. That's the shortstop. Don't know who came into play short on that play, but the shortstop makes the play as Butcher moved from short to the mound. Looks like Skeens has moved back to first, and we're going to presume that was Holden Allen on the putout as a pitch inside is taken for a ball by Bo Thompson. 1 away here after the flyout. 1-0 the count to Thompson. Pitch on its way is low. 2-0 the count. If Thompson was to reach, more than likely Luke Haney would run for him, and Braxton Messer would come to the plate as the 2-0 is taken on the outside corner for a called strike. 2 balls, 1 strike the count. Two-1 on its way. Swung on and fouled at the plate. 2-2 the count. As Jared Butcher looks to record the 2nd out of the 5th inning. As Man with 6, 7, 8 up. Pitch in the dirt. 3-2 the count. Braxton Messer in the on-deck circle would be the on-deck hitter. The only question is, will he bat with 1 out or 2 outs? Full count now to Thompson. Butcher from the windup. The 3-2 outside for a ball. And man has a one-out runner on the walk. First walk issued by. First out issued by Butcher. Now a conversation between catcher and third baseman as Luke Haney will courtesy run out at first base for Thompson. Haney ran for Thompson back in the third inning and was retired on a 5-4 lineout. Looking to see if we, as we look at the weather forecast, rain is in the area. Where exactly it is and when it gets here remains to be seen. First pitch high, 1-0 the count. Braxton Messer, 0 for 1. Fly out and hit by the pitch in the second inning. Takes a pitch for a called strike. 1-1. Colton Miller, the number 9 guy in the on-deck circle for the Hillbillies. Hoping to get a chance to hit here as the pitch is in the dirt for a ball. 2-1 to count. Two, one out. Bottom of 5. 13-7. Sherman. Haney leads off first. Butcher's 2-1 is outside. 3-1 now the count. And with the top of the lineup looming for the Hillbillies, they would like nothing more than to roll that top around with runners on base. Pitch high for a ball. Hillbillies at first and second now. And if Colton Miller can Colton Miller can get on, top of the lineup will come to the plate for the Hillbillies as conversation is conversation between the coach and the pitcher as coach from Sherman didn't like anything that he saw from his pitcher there after he retired the first batter on the first pitch. Since then, he's issued back-to-back walks, has Butcher and the Hillbillies now looking to continue this inning. Miller looking to get on base and give the top of the lineup a chance to cut into this lead. Again, not looking ahead, but if man can roll this thing around, you never know what can happen. First pitch to Miller is a called strike at the letters. 0-1 the count. If Miller can get on base here and bring Jace Aggins up, and Aggins can reach, and then be followed by Vance, Caleb Blevins would be the tying run. As Miller lays down a perfect bunt, pitcher is off the mound. He's not going to have a play. Colton Miller with an infield bunt single as he tried that back in the second inning and was retired on a sacrifice bunt. Bases loaded for Jace Aggins, and the Hillbillies putting pressure on the Tide defense, looking to cut into this lead as Aggins 1 for 2 with a single hit by pitch, a line out, and 2 runs scored to go with a stolen base. Pitch is outside for a ball. 1-0 the count as Caleb Vance steps into the on-deck circle for the Hillbillies. And if Aggins can reach without an out being recorded, the tying run will be in the on-deck circle as that pitch is inside for a called strike. 1-1 the count. Aggins awaits the pitch from Butcher. Here it comes, and it is outside for a ball. 2-1 now the count to Jace Aggins as the man faithful behind home plate start to get excited on the 2-1 offering, and it is on the outside corner. 2-2 now the count to Jace Aggins. Now the Sherman faithful start to get into it and encourage their pitcher, Jared Butcher. Butcher to Agins, 2-2. Inside, nearly hit him. And the count goes full. 3-2. With the bases loaded. And one away. In the bottom of the fifth. Hillbillies threatening here. 3-2 on its way. Swung on and fouled off on the hands. We'll do it again. Full count. Agins back in the box. Butcher back on the rubber. Set. 3-2. And the time is called, and there is a balk. No, timeout granted by the batter. I thought maybe we might have had a balk as Butcher stepped on the mound. His front foot came up. I thought maybe they might have got Butcher for a balk, but instead the batter called time, and the pitch is outside and behind. It is a base on balls and an RBI for Jace Agins. And man, closes it to 13-8 as we may have another pitching change here. As we'll wait to see what happens as pitcher comes out. Yeah, coach will take the ball. And while they sort everything out, we'll step aside here and be right back. 13-8. Sherman leads it. Man, bases loaded. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field. Action on the base paths as the Hillbillies with the bases loaded, trailing 13-8. And the bottom of the fifth inning with one out. Caleb Vance to the plate. And Holden Allen, who started the contest but left after 32 pitches in the first inning, is back on the mound for the Tide. First pitch is a ball. Second pitch is a strike at the knees. 1-1 the count to Caleb Vance. With the tying run, should Vance reach base. In the on-deck circle, Vance swings and lines a pitch out of play. 1-2 the count to Caleb Vance. As if you're watching on the YouTube feed, Miller Sports Broadcasting, make sure as the pitch is in the dirt and Vance checks his swing. 2-2 the count, even up. If you're watching on YouTube, Miller Sports Broadcasting, make sure you hit that subscribe button and you'll receive updates as to when broadcast will be live throughout this season, as we don't have very many left. 2-2 offering on its way, and Vance swings and misses. Strikeout number 2 for Holden Allen. Out number 2 for the Man Hillbillies. And Caleb Blevins up with an opportunity to bring the Hillbillies even closer. They trail 13-8. First pitch on its way, and it bounces up there for a ball. 1-0 the count. Again, Miller Sports Broadcasting. Hit subscribe to be update.
When he went out and he came back in, I think. So, yeah.
So Allen delivers. Pitch at the outside corner. Called strike, 1-1. And for Holden Allen, I do believe that is pitch number 38 for the contest. He left with 32 back in the first inning. Again, that's an unofficial count, but 38 pitches. If it's corrected by anybody down there, we'll get notification. 1-1 on its way is outside in the dirt. Ball 2, 2-1. And, well, as we mentioned, if Blevins reaches base, Preston Blankenship will come to the plate and represent the tying run. Blankenship already has 4 RBIs. 2-1 on its way. Outside, and the ball gets away, but does not kick far enough for any advancement. There is a very, very short backstop here at William Tootie Carter Field. 3-1. The count to Blevins. Nowhere to put him. We'll see how Allen elects to handle this pitch. Here it comes. Blevins swings and sends a foul ball that sends Coach Mike Crosby into action. 3-2 the count. If you saw that on our YouTube feed, Miller Sports Broadcasting, that
was close.
That almost picked off Coach Crosby down there in the first base coaching box. I'm sure Blevins will hear about that after the game. 3-2 on its way, and it's outside, ball 4. Trotting home from third base is Braxton Messer, and the Hillbillies now have the tying run at the plate. And one swing of the bat could tie.
You go ahead and walk him, just give up that run, knowing he could get this one out again.
The pitch outside, called strike, 0-1 as the Tide needs to get this out here. Blankenship watches the pitch in the dirt. 1-1 to count. Man, after falling behind 11-0 in the first inning, has drawn within 4 runs, 13-9, as the Hillbillies have plated 2 runs in this inning without the benefit of a hit. As pitch swung on, hit back to second base, and it takes a nice hop to the second baseman, Clay Massey, who will flip the Butcher in time to retire the Blevins at second base and retire the Hillbillies. But man draws closer. The Billies, 2 runs on 1 hit. We've played 5 complete from William Tootie Carter Field. Sherman 13, man 9. Back after this. Welcome back to William T.D. Carter Field on the campus of Man High School. We move to the top of the sixth inning, 13-9. Sherman leading man in a must-win situation. Tide wins. We got a winner-take-all game Monday evening between these same two teams. Man wins. They're the Class A Region 4 Section 1 champions, move on to the regional tournament, and the season ends for the Sherman Tide as A.J. Skeen steps into the box and swings at the first pitch and comes up empty and watches the 0-1 offering outside for a ball. 1-1 to count to Skeens as Bo Thompson just fired his 77th pitch. He will be unable to come back on Monday's game should there be one, as the ball hit Skeens in the box. No call was made, but alertly Thompson and Preston Blankenship pounced on the ball as Blankenship got to it and fired it to Brady Hall Montgomery. But the ball hit Skeens in the box. It's a 1-2 count. 1-2 on its way, and it is outside. 2-2 the count to A.J. Skeens, who is 1-for-3. Skeens swings, lines a pitch into left field for a base hit, and Sherman, for the first time in quite some time, has a leadoff runner on. In fact, the first time since the third inning that the Tide have gotten a leadoff runner on base, and Logan Green, the left fielder, steps in. Green's had a pretty good evening himself. 2 for 3, a pair of singles, and 2 runs scored. We'll see if he's bunting to move the runner up. Indeed, he shows bunt and pulls back and takes a ball. 1-0 the count. As I said, there's a number of things here that Green could be doing. Green could be trying to lay down a sacrifice. He could be trying to leg out a hit with a bunt from the 9 spot, and no show bunt attempt there as he swings and misses. 1-1 to count. Also, he could be showing bunt to try to draw the third baseman in and maybe smack a line drive right by him, or just simply bunt to stay off a double play. A number of things could have been coming in to play there. 1-1 to count as the bunt appears to be off, but you never know as he squares and bunts again up at first baseline. Thompson will field, throw to Hall Montgomery, and it hits the runner. And Green will be safe. That, I'd imagine, that has to be ruled an infield single. The third hit of the contest for Green. And big situation here as Cole Whitehead steps to the plate. Whitehead, a home run shy of the cycle. 3 for 3. Single, double, triple, and was also hit by a pitch. 3 runs scored, 2 RBIs. Thompson with the pitch, and it's inside for a ball. 1-0 the count. As Jack Daniels emerges from the third base dugout and will go out and talk to Bo Thompson as Preston Blankenship goes in to the dugout, and we'll indeed get a pitching change as it appears that Thompson will go to first, Hall Montgomery will come in to catch, and Preston Blankenship will come in to pitch. So while they sort all that out, we'll step aside and be back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field. 13-9, top of the 6th inning. Sherman leads it, and the Tide with runners on first and second. Back to the top of the lineup, Cole Whitehead and Preston Blankenship on for the first time this evening. Blankenship with inherits a 1-0 count as pitch is high for a ball. 2-0 now the count to Cole Whitehead. Again, 3 for 3. A home run shy of the cycle for the Sherman Tide. Blankenship checking the runners and the pitch. Outside corner called strike. 2-1 to count. 2 balls, 1 strike to count. Again, man fell behind 11-0. They've drawn within 4. 13-9. Looking to keep it at a 4-run deficit here, but in a little bit of a jam here as the 2-1 is at the knees for a called strike. 2-2 now the count. Preston Blankenship working to Brady Hall Montgomery, who is catching. Bo Thompson moved from the mound to first base for the Hillbillies. 2-2, nobody out. Big first out here if Blankenship can get Whitehead. And the pitch swung on, hit into center field. There's the center fielder, Jace Aggins. Back with the ball. He'll turn and fire into Caleb Blevins, the cutoff man, tagging at second base. And moving up is the courtesy runner, Bryce Mills. Mills goes into third base as runner on first still, as they're going to appeal the throw or appeal the tag, excuse me. And Scott Grimmett, one of our 3 field umpires, rules it a clean tag. So 1 away. Runners on first and third after the fly out to center fielder, Jace Aggins. And Clay Massey, the batter. Massey, 3 for 4. A pair of singles, a double, a ground out, 3 RBIs. As Blankenship steps off the mound and now collects himself as Mike Crosby instructs Bo Thompson to hold the runner on at first with the runner on at third. 1 away here. The pitch and the runner breaks and the pitch is inside and there'll be no throw. No stolen base on that attempt as the Hillbillies attempted not to throw. Ball was outside. 1-0 the count for ball, and now third baseman Caleb Vance playing up on the grass in case Massey was to square and bunt. Massey with 3 hits. I wouldn't expect a bunt in this situation, but you never know. Pitch on its way is low. 2-0 now the count to Clay Massey. Big spot here for the Hillbillies as they've been able to get base runners on. Infield up for man. They're going to try to cut the run down at the plate if they can. The count. The pitch. Swung on and missed. 2-0 the count.
As Bill Luska catches voice, I'm going to take over for a little while. That pitch was low and outside, ball 3. So we got a 3-1 count on Massey. Blankenship gets his signs from Hall Montgomery. Here comes the pitch. That breaks in there, strike 2. So we got a full count on Massey. It was a little low. So we got a full count for Clay Massey. Blankenship to pitch. Ball's hit foul outside of third base line. Still got a full count for Massey. while Bill Lusk is catching his breath and gets his throat back. I think he's ready to go. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Bill Lusk.
The magic of live sports. 3-2 on its way, swing and a miss. Strike 3. Strikeout number 1 for Preston Blankenship. Out number 2 for Sherman, and that'll bring up Holden Allen, the pitcher who started the game on the mound, moved to first base, moved to shortstop, now back on the mound. As Holden Allen, 2 for 4. Had 2 hits back in the first inning, each of those run-scoring singles. 2 RBIs on the evening line out to second base. There happened to be a double play. And a strikeout his last time up in the 5th inning. Preston Blankenship, 1 out away, possibly 1 pitch away from getting out of a jam here and keeping it a 4-run deficit. First pitch is low, 1-0 the count. Nowhere to put, first base is open, but really, to be honest, there's really nowhere to put Holden Allen with the dangerous Josh Jenkins in the on-deck circle. And a pitch on the outside corner, 1-1. The count evens up. Jenkins, his last time up, flew out to deep center field as Jace Aggins made the catch, crashing in to the blue tarp out in center field. Pitch outside corner, called strike, 1-2, and Blankenship is 1 pitch away from coming in and getting out of a jam here in the top of the 6th inning, keeping this a 4-run game. Hall Montgomery setting up outside the pitch. Outside, 2-2. Hall Montgomery set up out there. The pitch was out there, but Hall Montgomery unable to frame the pitch. Now Blankenship back on the rubber. The 2-2 on its way. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Preston Blankenship comes in and works out of a jam. And we'll go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 13-9. Sherman still leads it. Man's got the momentum on their side. Can they come back and complete the comeback? They're down to their final 6 outs. Back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field. We move to the bottom of the 6th inning. 13-9. Sherman, leading man, needing a win to stay alive and force a winner-take-all Class Single A Region 4 Section 1 championship game on Monday evening. Brady Hall Montgomery, the catcher, steps into the box. 0 for 2. Strikeout, walk, and a ground out. 2 short. Takes a first pitch strike on the corner. 0-1 to count. as the rain has held off. In fact, there's not even a rain cloud in the sky here at William Tootie Carter Field as Hall Montgomery swings and misses on the 0-1. 0-2 the count to Brady Hall Montgomery as Allen works quickly. The pitch swung on and fouled out of play down along the first base side and over towards the fire station. 0-2 the count. Again, for those that have never been here to Man, West Virginia, it's a pretty unique setup. You've got the school in the backdrop as the 0-2 swung on and missed out number 1 as Allen records his 3rd strikeout of the evening. And that'll bring up Drake Veers, the designated hitter. Man, if anything, the Hillbillies will like to get a couple base runners on and roll that top of the lineup around for the 7th inning as Veers takes a pitch up high for a ball. Again, as I mentioned, if you've never been here to Man, West Virginia, you got the school in the backdrop. Out in left center field, you've got the high school softball field, tennis courts out in left field, and to the right side in foul territory, you have the Little League field. So very nice setup here at William Tootie Carter Field as Veers takes a strike and fouls a 1-1 offering off. 1-2 the count to Drake Veers. 0 for 2. Fly out to short, fly out to left, and a walk. And that pitch is up and in. Appeal down to the first base umpire, nothing doing. 2-2 the count. Two on its way. In the dirt, 3-2 the count. Again, Sherman, now that Holden Allen has eclipsed the 50 pitch mark, he will require 2 days of rest. Josh Jenkins pitched out last night as the pitch is inside, nearly hits Veers, but it's ball 4. And the Hillbillies have a 1-out base runner as Veers draws a walk. Again, Josh Jenkins, 106 pitches last night in the win over Buffalo. He will not be available for Monday. And A.J. Skeens threw 50. He will be available as well as Jared Butcher for the Tide. Those two will be available as long as whoever else throws. As Thompson swings at the first pitch, grounds the second, on the short for 1, and that's all they will get. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. And 2 away here in the bottom of the 6th inning. As Thompson reaches for the second time by the fielder's choice. Braxton Messer to the plate. Messer 0 for 1, hit by a pitch, walk, and a flyout in the 3rd inning. Ball 1. Now the count 1-0. 1-0 the count. Outside 2-0 the count. And the Hillbillies have the number 9 guy in Colton Miller in the on-deck circle. So regardless of what happens here, man has rolled the lineup around. The number 9 guy would come up to the plate in the 7th inning. Miller's just as good as a leadoff guy as the count is 3-0 now to Braxton Messer. Miller hitting over 400 on the year. He has an ability to lay the bunt down and get on base by the bunt. So it's the 9 spot. Coach Mike Crosby has utilized it as another leadoff spot as the throw over to first base is not in time. And I would have to imagine that even if they were able to pick Bo Thompson off, I don't think it would have stood, as I don't think our home plate umpire ready to ball for play. 3-0 to count to Messer. I got to imagine he's taking on this pitch, and he is. Outside corner, called strike, 3-1. And I'd have to imagine that if this don't look good to Messer, he may be taken again here. 3-1 to count. Man needs base runners and swing and a miss on a pitch at the letters. Messer comes up short on it, 3-2. Very good 3-1 pitch there that Messer had a chance to drive, just unable to connect on it. Full count, Thompson will get a run off second base, and it's going to take the second baseman to the bag. He will step on the bag himself. That's Clay Massey. The Hillbillies do nothing in the bottom of the 6th. They do leave a runner on base as we've played 6 complete from William Tootie Carter Field. Sherman leads man 13-9. Back after this. Welcome back to William Tootie Carter Field on the campus of Man High School. Top of the 7th, 13-9. Sherman Tide leading the Man Hillbillies. Must-win situation for the Tide if their season is to continue here this year. And Josh Jenkins, the ever-dangerous Josh Jenkins, in the plate. Swing and a miss on a fastball from Blankenship. Jenkins had every intentions of hitting that ball out of the ballpark. Comes up short. 0-1 to count. The pitch outside. 1-1 to count. Again, Jenkins with 10 home runs this season for the Sherman Tide. That's not a school record. I do know back in the 99, 2000, 2001, Sherman had a guy that hit 17 or 18 that year. The name escapes my memory, but he was a left-handed hitting first baseman, and he could absolutely knock a cover off the ball as Jenkins comes up short on the swing. 1-2. Should say come up empty on the swing, excuse me. 1-2 offering from Blankenship to Jenkins. Once again, Jenkins comes up empty. 3 swings and strikeout number 3 for Preston Blankenship. That brings up Seth Ward, the catcher, who along with Austin Davies are the only 2 of the starting 9 in the lineup for the Sherman Tide without a hit. The Tide, 16 hits in this contest. Pitch at the knees for a strike on the corner. 0-1 the count to Seth Ward. Oh, 1 on its way. Outside. 1-1 the count to Ward. Ward has been on base twice this evening. He was hit by the pitch both times. 1-1, 1 out. Top of the 7th inning. Blankenship works from the windup, and the pitch is inside for a called strike at the knees. 1-2 now the count. That's Preston Blankenship at 23 pitches. The pitch. Outside corner, ball. 2-1 the count. Again, if Blankenship is able to retire Ward here and then get Jared Butcher out without throwing 7 pitches, without throwing 6 pitches, as the strike is outside. Now that window is now down to 5 pitches. Blankenship could come back if necessary, on Monday if man is unable to rally in the bottom of the 7th. Again, if you throw 30 or less, you do not have to set out a day. Pitch outside for a ball, and unless Butcher hits into a double play, those thoughts may not cross Mike Crosby's mind, as anyone 31-50 with under 30 requires no days. But
30's 1 day. If he gets over, he's got to rest 2.
Here's the pitch, and outside for a pitch is outside. I believe that was a ball, 1-0 the count. As
No, under 50's 2 days.
As Blankenship works. Pitch on its way. Swung on and missed. 1-1 the count now. As now the board chose 0-2. So Blankenship at 28 pitches. That would require no day's rest. 31-50 requires 1 day. And this being a Saturday, Sunday would be that 1 day rest. So maybe, just maybe, Blankenship could come back on Monday if Mike Crosby, Man High School head coach, elects to bring Blankenship back. If he gets that 1 day threshold. Blankenship set at the belt. The pitch. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. Strikeout. Number 4. 2 outs in the bottom. 2 outs in the top of the 7th. As Austin Davies steps to the plate. Davies, 4th plate appearance, 0 for 4. 4 strikeouts. Blankenship working from the stretch. The pitch. A ball. 1-0 in the count as Blankenship looking to keep this a 4-run game and give the Hillbillies a chance with 9-1-2 due up for man. Pitch outside corner, ball 2-0 the count. 2-0 the count to Austin Davies. 2-0 on its way. First a check of the runner. Now set the pitch outside, 3-0 the count now to Austin Davies. As Brady Hall Montgomery, the catcher, will have a conversation with Preston Blankenship and try to settle him down here. The next batter, A.J. Skeens, 2 for 4 with 2 singles and 2 RBIs. As the 3-0 is on its way, and it's high for a ball, and Austin Davies is on base for the first time tonight. Now the 2-out hitter is A.J. Skeens. And Skeens, as we mentioned, 2 for 4, 2-run single in the first, a fly out in the second, strikeout in the fourth, and a single back in the 6th. Skeens looking to get an insurance run here as the pitch is fouled off. Couldn't tell if it was fouled off of Brady Hall Montgomery's mask and then off the umpire as Hall Montgomery looks at the Sherman, looks over at the Sherman dugout, and they ask him if he was okay, and he gives him the indication that the ball was fouled off his face mask, and off to the side, Hall Montgomery appears to be okay. We're ready to go here as soon as the home plate umpire gets back to play. Now he'll clean the plate and give Hall Montgomery some extra minutes to collect himself. couple split seconds actually. 0-1 to count as Blankenship looks in, gets the sign, and comes set, and is ready for the 0-1. Here it comes. Swung on and popped up. Blevins on the infield, back racing. He has it. Third out of the inning to retire the Tide in the 7th. Nothing doing for Sherman. They leave a pair. 6.5 innings of play. 13-9 Sherman. Final call for the Hillbillies. Can they complete the comeback, or will there be a winner-take-all game on Monday evening? Back after this. Welcome back to William Tudor Carter Field, Class A, Region 4, Section 1 Championship. We moved to the bottom of the 7th. 13-9 Sherman. Hillbillies need at least 4 to tie, 5 for the win. 9-1-2, Colton Miller, Jace Aggins, Caleb Vance up. And first pitch from Allen to Miller is a ball. 1-0 the count. Holden Allen, 64 pitches. He will not be able to come back on Monday should Sherman hang on to win. 1-1 the count. Preston Blankenship, if man does not at least tie the game, Blankenship could come back Monday on 1 day's rest. Caleb Blevins and Caleb Vance also eligible to come back. Bo Thompson would be ineligible for man as Miller's bunt attempt by the first baseline is foul. 1-2 the count. For Sherman, Josh Jenkins and Holden Allen, number 1 and number 2 in the rotation, would be ineligible on Monday. Now, if we get weather, things could change. Swing and a miss. First out of the 7th inning. Miller down on strikes. And Caleb Vance in the on-deck circle as Jace Aggins steps to the plate for the Sherman Tide, for the Man Hillbillies. Jace Aggins, as shows bunt, pulls back, takes a strike, 0-1 to count. As I was about to say, Jace Aggins on the evening is 1-for-2. A single, a line out. He has a walk, was hit by the pitch as he takes a pitch for a strike. 0-2 the count. Aggins with an RBI, bases loaded to walk back in the 5th. He was also hit by the pitch in the 2nd, and he scored twice. Pitch fouled off along the Little League field. 0-2 the count to Jace Aggins, the leadoff hitter for Man High School. Pitch outside, 1-2 the count. Man needs base runners if they're to bring the tying run to the plate. And this 7th inning, as Agins swings, gets handcuffed on that one. Back to Allen. He bobbles the ball, picks it up, throws it into right field. Jace Agins will reach base on the air by the pitcher, Allen. Allen caught the ball, had intentions to tag Agins, but as Agins was going by, Allen bobbled it, collected it, and fired it over the head of the first baseman, A.J. Skeens, and into right field. And Jace Agins alertly held up as Jace Evans was hustling on the play to back up the throw, or otherwise Agins would be on second base right now. So E1, one away, and Vance takes a called strike, 0-1 to count. And for those watching on the YouTube feed, you know you've seen just about everything in this contest, as that pitch is a little high on the outside corner, but a called strike, 0-2 the count. But again, it's not where it's caught, it's where it crosses the plate. 0-2 to Caleb Vance. Allen's pitch outside in the dirt, and it'll get away from the catcher and allow Agins to advance to second base. Standing up, runner in scoring position for man. If Caleb Vance is to get Jace Agins in, that's only the 10th run. The Hillbillies would still need 3 more, and that potential 4th run is in the hole right now as the pitch inside, 2-2 the count. If Caleb Vance was to reach here, the potential tying run would be in the on-deck circle. That pitch swung on and hit into center field. Center fielder gets a late break, but then makes the catch out there in center field. A nice play by Cole Whitehead, as that wasn't an easy play to make off the bat of Caleb Vance. As Blevins comes to the plate, and we will get a conversation at the mound, as I wouldn't imagine a pitching change would be made, as Allen is at 77 pitches. In fact, it's just a conversation to settle his pitcher down and remind him that regardless of what happens at this at-bat, Sherman still has the lead. They have 2 outs. They are 1 out away from forcing a winner-take-all final on Monday evening. Again, we don't know for sure if that contest will be at Sherman or if it will be right back here at William Tootie Carter Field. We will get clarification before we go off the air after this contest, as Blevins swings and misses at the first pitch. 0-1 to count to Caleb Blevins, as Mike Crosby instructs Blevins to take the pitch up the middle. Pitch is swung on and missed. Blevins 0-2 now, the count. And the Tide, 1 strike away from staying alive in Region 4, Section 1 tournament play. 0-2 on its way is in the dirt. 1-2 the count to Caleb Blevins. One, two, 2 outs. The pitch swung on and fouled, and count remains 1-2. To the shortstop for the Hillbillies, who started this contest and didn't have his best stuff, as Sherman came out swinging the bats early and played at 11 runs. They chased Blevins after just 8 batters. 1-2 on its way. Pitch swung on and a base hit, and man will stay alive as Jack Daniels puts the stop sign up at third base and holds Jace Agins up at third. And Preston Blankenship steps to the plate. If Blankenship can get on base. Now, interesting. This is interesting, folks. They have walked Preston Blankenship to load the bases. Brady Hall Montgomery will come to the plate representing the tying run.
Just a good old boy. Catcher number 6, Brady Montgomery.
Bases loaded, 2 outs. Brady Hall Montgomery. I know he's 0 for 3. Brady Hall Montgomery coming in this contest was the leading hitter for the Man Hillbillies, hitting nearly 430. He has a home run to his credit. He's hit doubles. He's hit triples. Hall Montgomery is a senior. He's due for a big hit. And we will see if he can come through. The pitch is a strike. 0-1 to count. I mean, even if Blankenship was hit a home run, it's still 13-12. The 0-1 swung on and missed by Blankenship. 0-2 the count. Now Sherman again. 1 strike away from forcing a winner take all. Montgomery pitch up high. 1-0. Or 1-2 the count, excuse me. 1 swing of the bat. Brady Hall Montgomery could tie it. 1 swing of the bat, he could keep him alive. 1 swing of the bat could be over as the pitch is outside. 2-2 the count to Brady Hall Montgomery.
Go 6.
Both sides getting into it. 2-2 offering on its way. And swung on and missed. Strike 3. There will be a winner take all sectional final Monday evening. Sherman has came into man and shocked the Hillbillies. 13-9 the final. There ain't much time to regroup after this. You can't play on Sunday. Both teams will regroup for one day and go back at it Monday. 6 p.m. Location, we will find out here right after this. Once again, 13-9. Sherman victorious. Back after this.
Hey guys, this is Daniel here. As you heard Bill Lusk on the call for today's game, the Man Hillbillies fall to the Sherman Tide, 13-9. So the sectional this section will go the limit with Man having a loss under their belt in this sectional play. So does Sherman. So a decisive game will happen at either Man or Sherman. Bill Lusk is going down to find out the location for this decisive game in the sectional championship. Again, I let Bill Lusk call the game because he's from Man and he knows these kids more than I do. I want to thank Mike Crosby for allowing me to do this game and bring you Man Hillbilly baseball action. I do Logan as well. I might do Chapmanville as well. You never know. It just depends. But while Bill Lusk is going to find out where this decisive game be held, will it be at Man? Will it be at Sherman? We don't know. So we're going to step aside real quick. We'll come back. Either me or Bill Lusk will be announcing where it will. Bill Lusk will probably exit us out. So when he does, guys, thank you for watching. We're going to step aside as we wait for Bill Lusk to come back up here with the destination for the decisive game between the Tide and the Hillbillies. So we'll be right back. All right, we're back. We just got word. Bill Lusk just found out where we're playing. So, Bill, we're going to take it to you. Tell us where we're playing.
We'll be heading to Sherman Monday afternoon or Monday evening. Fortunately, there's not real good Wi-Fi service over there, so there won't be no coverage. But if you want to follow the game, you want a recap of it, WVOWradio.com. I will be over there for WVOW, covering it for the website and keeping everybody up to date on what happens. Tonight, just Sherman Tide team that came out hungry and it started in the first inning. 11 runs, too much for the Hillbillies to overcome. They didn't go down without a fight. They lose at 13-9. And for Man, I know it's a tough pill to swallow, but Coach Mike Crosby has to feel he has to be feeling better going into Monday, knowing that his pitching staff may be a little better shape, better situation than what the Sherman Tide are in right now. We'll have to wait and see how that plays out Monday. Sherman, they've used their top two pitchers, so now the question remains, who's next? A.J. Skeens, he's able to go. He only threw 50 pitches. If he would have threw one more, he would be ineligible for Monday. Jared Butcher, the shortstop, he came in relief. He only threw right around 20-some pitches. He's eligible to go. Caleb Levins threw just 28 for Man. He's eligible. Caleb Vance was in the 20s. He's eligible to go. And Preston Blankenship, who came on in relief of Bo Thompson and did a phenomenal job and worked out of a jam. I'd have to imagine that maybe Blankenship gets the start for the Hillbillies with Brady Hall Montgomery catching and Bo Thompson on first. We'll see how it all plays out Monday. Regardless, no video, no live feed. I will be live. Well, not live. I will be in person Monday over at Sherman for the winner-take-all sectional championship game between these two teams. I mean, these are the top three teams, along with Wahama. They're the top three teams in this section, in this region. I look for Wahama to come out of that bracket and force a winner-take-all game on Tuesday after they beat Ravenswood on Monday. Wouldn't surprise me at all. These are also the 3, 4, and 5 teams in the state in Class A. If Wahama was to get knocked off, then Monday's winner between Man and Sherman would host Game 1 of a regional final, and if necessary, a third game. But 13-9, Sherman Tide over the Man Hillbillies. We, didn't expect this kind of offensive output tonight from either ball club, and we definitely didn't expect an 11-run first inning nor 20 runs combined through the first 2 innings, and then the scoring fall off in the last 5 innings. But Sherman came to play. You got to give them credit. Holden Allen did an exceptional job on the mound. Caleb Levins, he didn't have his best stuff. It wasn't that it was location issues. I just think it was Sherman coming ready to play and getting a bat on the ball. And once you see that lineup start coming through, and once the 5 and 6 guys start hitting becomes contagious, and anybody and everybody can hit. So, Daniel, we'll pass it back on to you. And what a game tonight, and what a day of baseball.
Oh, yeah, exactly. This was a great day for high school baseball, especially earlier in the day. Logan High defeated the Scott Skyhawks 6-4. They are now sectional champions again, back-to-back. They're on a quest to repeat as state champions. Man, the state runners-up last year, they're on a quest to try to get back to Charleston and compete for that title. But they got a roadblock, and it's now down in Seth, known as the Sherman Tide. So, yeah, Bill, thank you for calling the game. Guys, I'm happy to bring you this game. I had nothing to do today other than watch Logan today, and I said, well, I'm going to come down and I'm going to stream Man. So thank you, Mike Crosby, for allowing me to stream this game. Guys, you've been watching the West Virginia Boys Region 4, Section 1 sectional championship game that will now be decided down in Seth for the decisive game. Bill Lusk was on the call. I am Daniel Miller. We're signing out. See you.